Hey, good morning everybody, and welcome to the vlog. Take a look at this beauty right here. This, of course, is an African bush viper, the Thuris. I tell you what, these things are incredible, and this is one of Bruce's animals, and he brought it in today because we have to do a little bit of attention to it. This happens to be a wild-caught animal, and although we don't do a lot of wild-caught animals here, there are certain species that just you can't find hardly any captive breeding, so obviously you want to establish a group of them and hopefully be able to reproduce captive animals. But unfortunately, with that comes some issues, and this particular animal hasn't been feeding and could potentially have some internal parasites. So today we're going to show you guys how to treat an animal like this. Not that I would ever suggest you guys doing this without a vet or something like that. I've been around enough of these and I've done enough of these where I feel pretty confident about it. But let's go ahead, get this little monkey back, and I'll show you exactly what we're about to do. And again, a lot of times when a wild-caught animal comes in, it can be heavily parasitized, can have worms, all kinds of stuff like that. So typically you want to use a flagell, which is a metronidazole. It's just a pretty common thing. As a matter of fact, even people take it when they have a parasite. And it's hard to overdose it. You can really kind of crush an animal with the dosage, and you're not going to have a lot of bad effects from it. Not that I think you should overtreat it. So we're going to try to do the best we can. It's a relatively small animal, and we're going to use this right here to actually tube it in. But obviously, unlike a corn snake or something, we can't grab it and do that because we're putting ourselves at danger. You know, these guys have a pretty severe hemotoxin, not necessarily a fatal thing. I think there's only been one death ever recorded, but still pretty bad, painful bite that you don't want to get. As a matter of fact, they used to think they were relatively mildly venomous, but the truth is that the hemotoxin is actually much worse than they thought it was originally, with some pretty severe necrosis. So regardless, I have Science Diet AD, which is urgent care. This is a prescription diet, and I'm just going to take a little bit. I don't need that much. I figure if I'm going to tube it, I might as well give it some protein as well, right? You know, we might as well get something in its body. And that's one of the things when you medicate, oftentimes you want to not only get medication in, but you want to get substance in so that it's digesting the food at the same time as that medication is absorbing into it. We also want to take some water here, and we want to hydrate it because, again, snakes get about 2/3 of their hydration through prey. So if they're not eating, of course, they're dehydrating. So the first thing I'm going to do is just put a little bit of that in there, and I'm just going to dose this about this much right here. I'll show you. Not too much, about that much. That's about perfect when it comes to the flagell right there. I'm going to have to make this slurry relatively smooth because, again, this is a pretty small snake, so the tube I'm tubing it through has a little tiny hole in it, so we don't have a lot of options, right? So I'm going to just kind of mix this up the best I can, try to turn it into the best slurry that I possibly can here, just like this. Oh, and that should be perfect. I'm just going to try to get it really mixed in there. That way you've got the flagell, you've got the Science Diet, you've got the hydration with the water, stuff like this, and this is going to do this animal so good. Now what we might do is we might want to do this again in a couple weeks, you know, 7 to 10 days maybe even. Metronidazole can actually be an appetite stimulator as well, so that's a really good thing too. So the animal is going to become a little bit more hungry and hopefully will eat on its own. And I'm just going to try to get this thing sucked up into this as best as I can. So obviously we have the girl here. We're going to go ahead and let Bruce get her out. We cut the tube down a little bit. The idea is that we want her to be able to get to the end of this tube where my hand is going to be here, away from the face. I'm going to go like this and actually get this in here, and we can actually tube her. That's the idea. So the first thing we need to do is obviously just get her in the tube, get her crawling in the tube. And that's not hard with an animal like this. You know, basically, as soon as you get her going, she should go right in. There she goes. Whoop. And here she goes. She's going right in here now. So we'll just kind of entice her to go in. And you can see right now she can't get backwards. And the deal is that as she gets to the end here, Bruce is going to be able to hold on to the back side right here. And we just want her to get to the end, right? So that she can't go backwards too much. So let her go up a little bit more. And the whole idea, it's going to be a little bit tricky. You can see you just got to be careful. It's going to be a little tricky because she's going to want to back up. And that's going to be the hard part. Now see, she bit right into it. I can go right down in here, let her climb up a little bit further. Yep, a little bit further. My hands are away. And as you can see, she's actually trying to bite it, and she's coming in. That's perfect. All right, hold on to her now. And I'm just going to go ahead, just really gently get this in here. And it's got plenty of hydration, water, medicine, everything else. And now we're going to just put her up like this so that it all goes down. We're going to keep her up like this just for a little while, get her off there, and she should actually now drink all that stuff, get it down in her gullet. You can kind of see she's getting it down here, and she looks good. So now we can kind of set her down. And we'll even let her climb for a minute. She's taken all that medicine in. She's got the flagella inside her. She's got some Science Diet AD for nutrients. She's got lots of water for hydration because, again, these guys need a lot of hydration.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
So is this a, I'm sorry, is this a girl or a boy?
I believe it's actually a male.
Oh, it's a boy.
The reason why, obviously, like I brought him to you, Brian, is obviously this animal is a wild caught animal.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I'm doing the right things, and I'm going to a parasitic flush that's appropriate for this animal and all those sorts of things. So with this guy, he was sold to me as a probable male, so we don't really 100% know.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, judging by the tail length, I think you're 100% right. But just kind of keep her head up so that she's digesting all of that stuff, right? So as it's going up, all that's going down, the gravity's not. I don't want her to regurgitate hardly any of it. She's spit out just a little tiny bit, which is no big deal. But again, to be totally honest with you, not only the flagella is going to be really important, but that hydration is going to be important. Now, these guys will drink off of misting and stuff like that, but the truth is to get that big dose of water as well as that nutrients from the Science Diet, again, the appetite stimulant there is going to cause her to want to eat. And what have you been trying to feed her so far?
So right now she's been fed live pinkies and as well as just frozen thawed pinkies, things like that. I haven't attempted anything like force feeding or anything like that. It's not really something I want to do with this animal.
Yeah, no. And she was willing to bite.
Oh yeah.
As soon as I hit this tube on her, she immediately struck at it and tried to sink her fangs into it. And so,
and a lot of times I see that happening with the feeding and stuff like that. That was my main issue, is that she just didn't seem to want to hold on to nothing. And the moment she would bite it, I'd leave the food in there, would come back the next day, and it would rot in there. You know.
Well, she is definitely an amazing animal, and now you can see her tongue is coming out really well again. She doesn't have any of that fluid coming up. She's not trying to spit anything out. So I think this is good. We're going to go ahead and get her back in her enclosure just so she doesn't stress out anymore, you know, because that's obviously a little bit traumatic for an animal like this. But hopefully here, within the next short period of time, she'll start taking food. We might have to do this again in a week or 10 days to make sure, get that appetite stimulant, make sure there's no parasites, keep that hydration up. And but what an absolute ripper, huh? Woo! I tell you, that Bruce, that is ridiculous, dude.
Like we were talking about it before. I mean, I love the Arthera species, but man, this is one of the pinnacle ones. This is the West African, so you got it.
Beautiful, man. Look at that, and those little tiny fangs and stuff like that. I mean, the head itself is literally, it looks like a painting. It is unbelievable how amazing these things are.
Like when you see like old Japanese photos of dragons, this is what they're looking at right here.
Exactly. I agree with you. Wow, that's amazing. So this is a beautiful animal. We'll get him back home. I'll get him set up and just let him chill. But you can even see that little bit of bump in him where all that food is down there in his gut, right down in his stomach. So that's a good sign. That's going to be good. I hope that this will be the first step in this animal becoming a really good animal. So there you go. Tubing and medicating a little viper from West Africa.
I want to share with you guys an animal that I don't think we really talk about too much, but I'm pretty excited because we're starting to breed. They are the Indian Sand Boas. So the female's right there, and I actually have the male right here. So you can see he's much brighter. So the male is actually called the Sunset. It's that very orange. And this is a normal female. So we have both normal and Sunset females and then the one Sunset male. This is something that we can get first generation when we breed. So these girls are pretty big. The babies are huge. So usually I think you're lucky if you get maybe 5, 6 babies most, just because they're so big when they're born. Again, live birth with the boas, so that's always fun too. But yeah, like I said, we've got a half a dozen girls that this guy is getting put to, so hopefully we'll have some babies later on this summer.
Got some ball pythons today. I'm excited about this collection. I'm going to tell you why in a second. This is actually a champagne. Oh, and it doesn't look like they're good eggs. No! Oh gosh, that stinks. This is a champagne that I've had forever. And she's about 7 years old, believe it or not. And she laid eggs when she was 18 months old. In the last 4 years, she hasn't really gained much size. And she has not. Oh, and she is fired up. Look at her. Whoa, come on, mama. She's definitely going to protect those eggs. And she has not laid eggs in like 4 years. So I was so excited. She was actually bred to a super Enchi pinstripe. Enchi champagnes are ridiculous. So, oh my gosh, what a disaster clutch. We've been, whoa, geez, mama, it's okay. We've been so good this year, but it looks like we just got 1 fertile egg and 2, 4, 5 slugs. What, whoa, sheesh, mama is mad. Again, we get her cleaned up so she gets that maternal instinct away, so she stops being so aggressive, get her calmed down. And hey, I was really excited when I saw she laid a clutch of eggs. Not so excited that there's only one egg in the clutch and a bunch of slugs, but hey, maybe we'll get lucky and we'll get an Enchi champagne pinstripe or something like that. Regardless, one egg, what can you do? But we do still have one other clutch to pull. Let's hope this clutch is a little bit better here. This is actually a Enchi that's het for piebald, and it's actually bred to this male right here, which is actually a pastel piebald ball python right here. Really gorgeous snake. I mean, just take a look at that monkey right there. And of course, it's a recessive mutation, which means on average, half these eggs would be pied, half the eggs would not be pied, but they could be pastel pies, they could be pastel Enchi pies, they can be Enchi pies. Of course, they can be pastels, Enchis, pastel Enchis that are heifer pied, all that type of stuff. Regardless, I was excited to see if this girl was gonna lay in. Good. I needed a good clutch of eggs, guys, even though this is a pretty small female, probably one of the smallest females will breed for sure. I was just needing a good clutch of eggs after that last disaster for sure. So I'm pretty excited about that. And these are some huge eggs. Again, guys, I always mention it. Look at this. This clutch of eggs fit into that female right there. How is that even possible? And again, what I'm going to have to do is remove this top egg right here just because it's a little bit too high for the egg box. And these are relatively fresh, so they actually peel apart pretty well, just really simply like that. We're good to go. So there's just four eggs. 4 eggs, that's a small clutch right there. But again, a very small girl. On average, 2 of these are going to be pied, and who knows what else is going to come from an Enchi pied, pastel Enchi pied, pastel Enchis, heifer pied, all kinds of stuff. So these will be exciting. In 57 days, we're going to see what we're going to get, and I'm glad we at least got one really good clutch of eggs today. Let's take a quick look before we get started looking for other eggs to see if my female pastel that I've been waiting on to lay, that was bred to that black pastel, lesser bongo, beautiful animal here. Unfortunately, she still hasn't laid, so maybe tomorrow. What do you say we collect some colubrid eggs? This first one is actually a coral snow. Of course, that's that really beautiful pink coral snake that I absolutely love. And of course, this is the male that is bred to right down here. Crazy beautiful. I mean, that thing is gorgeous. Again, a polygenic trait that's just bred over generations for pinkness, and wow, yep, good. These clutches have all been so good this year. Just such beautiful snakes. And again, the snow corn is actually an albino corn and an anery corn, so it's lacking red and black pigment, and you get this kind of cool, like white look to it. And then over generations, you can breed it for the pink color as well, and get that kind of polygenically bred coral, or sometimes called salmon snows. I'll get her back up here. We'll get her all cleaned up, some water in there. Let's see how many eggs she actually has. Again, a nice, beautiful clutch. Not a huge clutch of eggs, but still really nice size eggs. Should be really good. All of these will be coral snows. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 eggs. Not bad way to start the day. Next up would be a Mexican black king snake. Not a big female at all. Speedy, what are you doing? Sheesh. There is no social distancing with that animal. I'm telling you what, I don't know what his problem is. Let's go ahead and see what this girl has. Again, not a big girl, but a beautiful Mexican black king. I mean, that is just a gorgeous snake. We'll put Mama back in there. Good job, Mom. You did a really good job. And a pretty small clutch right here. It's big eggs, but it looks like there's only 3 eggs in here. So I'm just gonna kind of take a little bit closer look. Probably candle that one just to make sure. It looks like it might have rolled just a little bit. We'll candle these 2 just to be sure as well. So it looks like just 3 eggs. Just take a quick look. Yep, just 3 eggs from this girl, but still, hey, 3 eggs is better than none. Last colubrid clutch for the day is actually a het strawberry diffuse corn. These guys are really cool animals. Strawberry stuff is like a hypo thing. The diffuse is obviously a blood red. This is the male. I mean, just a really pretty looking male to begin with, to be totally honest with you. But the more so is what they're het for, right? Because the strawberry is that hypo color that's just like a strawberry, really. And then the diffuse is a blood red, which is actually a reduction of pattern and kind of this really kind of diffuse thing. Really small clutch here. here. Kind of surprised for such a big girl that she would have so few eggs here. So we'll just go ahead and pull this out. Certainly we got one little slugger right here. This little guy just needs to get peeled off, and we'll dispose of that. But the rest of the clutch looks good, but really a small clutch. Really small. Oh, there's another little slugger on this side too. Wow, that's surprising for a girl this big, because look at how big she is. That's usually an animal you would think would lay 12, 13 eggs. Definitely a small clutch. We'll get her back in here. Again, get her cleaned up like as always, get her some water. But she only had 2, 4, 6 good eggs and 2 little sluggers. So 8 eggs, that's a small clutch. I'm kind of surprised. But you know what can happen sometimes? They actually have 2 ovaries and 2 oviducts, and so they might have only had one side produced. So we'll double clutch these guys. So maybe next time she will have 15 or 16 eggs on her next clutch. So we'll see how things go. Nevertheless, that wraps up the colubrid eggs for the day. It's always exhilarating working with venomous snakes, and hopefully that dose of medicine and food will help that bush viper. What a beautiful snake. If you enjoyed that, here's a playlist of a bunch of travel stuff that I've done where I've met a bunch of cool animals like that. If you want, you can support my podcast. I really do appreciate it. Right up here, you can subscribe. It's called Checking In. You can subscribe to this channel right over here if you don't mind. Turn the post notifications on. Have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you guys tomorrow.